Our how is everything. How you do something matters. Culture, how, next on mentality.
Woo! The pj-fleck-show starts now.
Welcome in, everybody, to a special edition of the pj-fleck-show, coming to you from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. I'm Pierre Noujaim, joined by the head coach of Gopher-football, Coach PJ Fleck. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing elite. Great to see you.
I would say long time no see, but we bumped into each other last night at St. Elmo's. We had a good steak last night, didn't we?
It's tremendous. The best. Absolute best.
The best steak. One of the best steaks I think I've had in quite some time, no doubt about it. Coach, let's jump right into it. It's a brand new season that's upcoming here for you and the staff and the crew. Last year, I recall you talking about the group that you coached being a fun group to coach. What type of identity is starting to form with this year's team, and what has you looking forward to coaching this year's group?
Well, this team loves football. You know, and I think with all the changes in college football right now, I think loving football and playing football, that's what's getting lost. This team loves to be together. They gel really well together, and I can't wait to coach them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And when you look at this year's team, especially you got some new faces in here, especially with Max Brosmer and our quarterback. We'll talk with Max a little bit later in the show. But when you look at some of the new faces, how are they adapting to your style, your scheme, your message? How are some of the new faces clicking on this team?
Well, I think the guys that we brought in have to be immediate impact players, right? So I think there's a difference between bringing guys in, knowing you can develop them over time, or they can compete for jobs. Like this, the thing with Max was we knew Max had to come in and start and play. That takes a special individual to do that, because I think everybody says they want to play and they want to be the starter, but do they really want to when the lights come on? And Max does. And I think that's what was really special about recruiting him. We had to find somebody that could handle that, right? Because that's a tough role to handle.
Sure.
He has the maturity. He's incredibly curious. And when you have somebody leading your football team that's constantly curious, that's a good thing.
Staying on the quarterback theme, I know there a lot have been said about the passing game and trying to jumpstart this passing game. With the fans at home that are watching want to know how we jumpstart this passing game, what would you tell them what they can expect perhaps from the passing attack this year?
Well, yeah, I think every year presents its own challenges, and then every year has its own football team. What you're really good at offensively, what you're really good at defensively, what are you good at special teams wise, and everything affects everything.
Sure.
I mean, people talk about jumpstarting the pass game. 2019, we had 2 first-team All-Big Ten wide receivers.
You did.
If you go back to Western Michigan, we had one of the most prolific passing attacks later in our tenure there. We're going to do what it takes to win football games with that particular team. Now, that particular team changes by the week, and it shows you what it can do and what it can't do, what it's capable of doing and what it's not capable of doing. And then you as a coach have to adapt that, and you can't keep taking the square peg and jamming it into the round hole. Now, I didn't do a very good job last year. I feel like last year as we continued to go through, I never felt like I had a grip of that particular team on the field that particular week, because it changed constantly, right? Injuries, new guys, and you never felt like, okay, I could rely on this. When we're good, we know who to rely on, when we can rely on them, through the air or the ground. And we will get that piece going. That's why we brought Max in here. And, we got a lot of work to do to get to where we want to go, though.
On the other side of the field, you have a new defensive coordinator in Corey Heatherman. How has he been doing? How do you think that defense is starting to come together? I know run defense was a little bit of an issue for you guys last year as well, but how do you see this defense forming under Coach Heatherman?
Well, the first thing that we always talk about is stopping the run, period, no matter what year it is. I think we've done a really good job over the course of the last 4 or 5 years in stopping the run first. When we don't stop the run, though, we don't have a lot of success, and multitude of reasons that go into that. We had a lot of players on defense playing way faster than probably they should have been playing, but now those guys who played and that investment was made are back again. I mean, we have 16 of 17 eligible returning starters on this football team, and a lot of them are on the defensive side of the ball, and then we get a lot of guys back from injury. So Coach Heatherman walked into a situation where I think he had instant accountability and believability. And because when you look at how we hired him, we came from the same type of system that we've had for a long period of time. And he is all ball all the time. He is a very serious guy and has had a lot of success at Maine and JMU, and excited about him leading our defense.
Going back to last year, just real quick, with how things played out and how things finished out, when you look back at last season, how much did it hurt, in terms of how the season finished? How difficult was it kind of to get through the season last year? And what do you learn from that season to kind of take into this season?
Well, players matter,
Yeah.
You always know that,
No
right?
doubt.
But I was really proud of how our team finished at the end of the year. You know, we go 5-7. We're not going to a bowl game, but we talk about a life program and a life culture. Well, because of that, we're the only team that's really eligible with one open bowl spot. And then we go to a bowl and win our 5th straight bowl out of 7 years. And one of those years was a COVID year, which, we didn't even, we didn't even go to a bowl game, right? And so you're talking about 5 out of 6 years, winning all 5 of those bowl games. I mean, that's huge for the next step of what we want to be able to continue to take. From day one, we said we wanted to have cultural sustainability here. Well, this is year 8.
Yeah.
And you look at Mark Coyle and I, that we're the longest tenured AD head coach combination in the Big Ten. That just shows like how fluid our profession truly is. After 7 years, now going on 8, we've been together the longest. So we got a lot of work to do. It's going to be a really exciting year, and I love this team.
To piggyback off of that a little bit, I feel like for at least 2 years running now, whether it's on this show or whether in your post-game press conferences, you have stressed about the new world of NIL and what it really takes to try to compete now in a conference like the Big Ten. How do you feel like you and Mark Coyle and how this whole thing is coming together in the world of NIL? How do you feel like it's been coming together in terms of keeping guys here, trying to attract other people? And what's it like for a coach trying to add another piece of responsibility to an already big plate for yourself?
Yeah, there's no GM department, like there is in the NFL. But I think when you look at the whole thing is that fit matters. Fit matters more in building an elite team now than it has ever mattered.
Yeah.
We still get to select young people, and they get to select us.
Sure.
I think what you value is more important than ever. So we're still going out and getting players who value the life program. We just had our best recruiting class since we've been there. But that's not because we were the highest bidder, but it was because we found the right people who want to be developed. You can only go based on the proof that you have. 16 of 17 eligible starters, which you and I probably both know. If they'd stick their pinky toe right in the portal, they'd probably make more money. Mm-hmm. But we've been able to keep them with enough funds and what is required from them to say, hey, that's a fair deal. Plus, I have this elite culture and program where I can keep building as a man. And I think that's what everybody's looking for a secret sauce. Mm-hmm. There is no secret sauce, but that would be ours, is that we create this life value as well as let our players and have our players have exposure to NIL and all the great things that are changing for the student athletes.
Yeah, it's well stated. And on top of that, too, when you look at the competition, off the field when it comes to NIL, competition on the field in the Big Ten is going to take it up a notch a little bit here. We got 4 new incoming teams. Yep. The Gophers are going to be seeing 2 of those teams with USC and UCLA on the schedule this season. But, Coach, when you look at this newly formed Big Ten and no more divisions, it feels like the wild, wild west out here. I mean, what does it look like with this new look Big Ten that we're going to be seeing?
It's just really exciting. You're talking about 18 of the most premier brands in all of college football, all in one conference, coast to coast, 9 league games, which is challenging, and you never know where the wheel's going to stop, right? And who you're actually going to play, because there are no more divisions.
Yeah.
You have your protected rivalries, but other than that, it's a crapshoot. You don't know who you're going to get. But I think it's really exciting, especially when you start to look at the West Coast teams and the type of success they've had over, not only just the last decade, but you can go all the way back, some of the most traditional football programs in the country. And, I always told our fans, I'd take you to the Rose Bowl. We're going this year. Which is great. We're going.
UCLA on the schedule this year. That's certainly one we're looking forward to. USC is going to be coming. This is what we've been talking about. It's going to be weird to see Big Ten drenched across basketball courts and football fields out at USC and UCLA. But this is the new world of college football, I guess.
It's exciting. I mean, I think that change is inevitable and change is healthy.
Yeah.
So think about the excitement around this season. Not only in the Big Ten, but the SEC and new conferences and new people joining conferences. I'm excited to see it. I'm just excited to see how it all plays out, because every single fan base has an expectation, but there can only be one winner. And now you have 18 people in that league. So it's interesting because there's only so many people that can win 11 games.
Right.
12 games. There's only one or maybe 1 or 2 that can have that type of season. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out and how the fan bases react to all of them.
This is our 3rd year. We're coming up on our 3rd year doing the show here together. I know you don't care about this, but I'm going to ask you about it anyway.
Oh,
There's people out there that, I've seen you guys getting picked 12th. I've seen you guys get picked 15th in this conference. How much do you pay attention to that? How much do you care? How much do you feel like maybe you guys are being overlooked a little bit going into the season?
I'm going to ask you the question right back. How much do you think I care about that, Pierre?
Zero. That's like zero. I know you care zero about it.
Here's how much I don't care about it. First of all, I respect it.
Yeah.
People have to do their job, and I see it, right? The way our season was last year, I can see that. But the internal message is the only thing that's going to matter for us. The last time we were picked 6th in the West out of 7, we went 11-2. So that doesn't necessarily matter to us. I know we have a really good football team. I know what kind of character we have on this football team. I know how connected and gelled they are and how much they love football. It's going to be a tight season where you're going to have to win a lot of one-possession games, but this is going to be the team to go through it with, that's for sure.
The standard is the standard, from what I understand.
The standard is the standard.
The standard is the standard. So much more to come here on the PJ Fleck Show. When we come back, we're going to be joined by a couple of the players. We'll get their thoughts on the upcoming season. You don't want to miss that. Coming up next, right here on the PJ Fleck Show.
Welcome back to the PJ Fleck Show.
Welcome back into the PJ Fleck Show. Joined now by a couple of special guests. Running back Darius Taylor, quarterback Max Brosmer. Guys, welcome to the set. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having us.
Looking sharp here, guys. Who's dressing you guys?
State Liberty. Yep.
Yeah, looking good. They're looking solid. I need to probably talk to them and get my suit game.
They said that in sync. Did you see that?
I did.
That was great. Like a fist pound. Timing was perfect.
We're already in sync. We haven't even played a game yet, and they're already well in sync. Guys, let's talk a little football. Darius, I'm going to start with you. You're back for another season. You had such a gratefully impactful season in year 1. What are you looking to improve on in year 2, and what are you looking forward to the most about this season, playing with these guys being back in a Gophers uniform?
I say the biggest thing I'm looking to improve on is probably take care of my body and make sure that I'm available for the team. And then the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is probably just playing with the guys. I'm just excited for the season to get rolling. Fall camp's coming up soon, so it's time to get rolling.
Being with PJ for a number of years now, one thing that I've always heard him say a lot is, like, when you accomplish something, people always want to know if you can do it again. With such a big year that you had last year, how confident are you that not only you can meet the expectations you had for yourself last year, but perhaps even elevate them?
I'm not necessarily looking at the end goal. I'm just looking to go, like we said in the offense, want to know every day. Just getting better every day and just keep taking steps and steps and steps, and that'll probably come out to the end goal, but that's not my main focus right now.
Max, it's your first season here with the University of Minnesota. How nice is it to be able to hand the ball off to a guy like him to kind of alleviate pressure for a quarterback?
It's great. I think every good pass game has a really good complementary run game. Minnesota is known for its run game, and I'm excited to see what he does this year, as well as it's a good guy to throw checkdowns to as well. So I'm excited to see how that rolls out for us.
Max, one thing that I've heard some of the other players talk about when they were asked about you, the first word that comes up is leadership. Why do you think that is, and why do you feel like you were able to step into a role in your first year and be one of the team leaders right away?
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes from the team kind of accepting me for who I am really early. I think it's really hard to come in as a transfer in general, but to come in for 1 year and try to gravitate with a team around you like that in that short of time is really difficult to do. So I really give all the credit to my players and my team, my coaching staff. I think a leader can be seen in so many different ways, but in order to build upon it, I think it's really important to have a team around you that wants to follow you and trust you in such a short amount of time.
PJ, you've had these guys for a number
impressive, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Impressive young men.
I would have to imagine you're probably sleeping pretty good at night knowing you have these two guys under center and tailback.
I don't sleep very well anyway,
well,
but yeah, I'm sleeping a little bit better, absolutely, with these guys, no doubt. Did you see how Max started with the pass game?
Yeah, absolutely, yes, I did. I did notice that, yes.
He's been reading the papers and listening to your sports segment.
I know, yeah, he's defying me already before we even get on the field. That's okay. We want him to be at his best. But I mean, even when you're talking about the numbers, you had impressive numbers at New Hampshire. You come in now to Minnesota. It's a new conference, new challenge. What are you looking forward to the most about the challenge here in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I've always wanted to put myself on the biggest stage possible. And at the time, coming out of high school was New Hampshire, and I took it as it was. And we had successful seasons at New Hampshire, and I had a blast there for 5 years. It was a lot of fun. But now having the opportunity to come play in the Big Ten, something I've wanted to do my whole life. I think there's a lot of I don't want to say complete parity in this conference, but it's a lot of challenging games. And I'm excited to do it with my team here, and I have a great squad. Darius in the backfield, I have an amazing O-line, amazing receiving core, and outstanding defense. I'm really excited to compete with these guys this year. But again, it's just a challenge every single week, and I look forward to that. We look forward to that.
PJ, what do these two individuals bring to the team?
Well, they bring incredible leadership, and I mean, the example of the work ethic is everything. You're only as strong as how hard your leaders work, and these guys. I mean, he's the most curious player I think I've ever coached, ever in 12 years, and I've only known him for 7 months. I've never seen anybody come into a role like that has to be a starter. And that has to fit the program. That has to fit a personality and a leadership style and a confidence standpoint. I've never seen that before. And for him, I mean, we've had a relationship for a long time. But I mean, this young man, his loyalty and his commitment to his future dreams and goals, but also the now, is inspiring. I don't think it's any mystery that, I mean, look at him, where he ended up here. That kid can play anywhere in the country. And but the type of person he is what makes him a really good player. And we tell our guys we want you to be a better person than a player. These are two examples of that.
Darius, Minnesota has had a tradition of great running backs with PJ here at the helm. How much did that really catch your attention and really say to yourself, what, I could be that next great back in line with some of the great running backs that have played for this university?
I mean, it played a pretty big role. Looking at Muhammad when I was coming in, he was having great seasons back to back. And I kind of connected with him on a few visits, so I feel like that was a big part of it, honestly. And then, Big Ten football is just running the ball. So, I mean, I've grown up watching Michigan State, Minnesota, all the, Wisconsins of the world. So, I mean, it's just Big Ten football has always been my thing, so here was no question.
Guys, we certainly appreciate you taking the time. See, they were great. You can sleep easy at night, no problem.
No, absolutely. Easier.
Easier. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. Guys, we appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck and best of health this season.
Thank you.
More to come here on the PJ Fleck Show. When we come back, we'll talk more about this upcoming season. 2 new players in the hot seat. You don't want to miss that on the other side of the break.
You're watching the PJ Fleck Show.
Welcome back into the PJ Fleck Show, everybody from Big Ten Media Day. Joining me now, linebacker Cody Lindenberg, reigning Big Ten kicker of the year, Dragan Kesich joining us here on set. Guys, it's great to have you. Cody, I'm going to start with you. It's a brand new season, and I'm sure you are certainly looking forward to this season. I know it was a tough season last season for you, injury-wise. How's the body feeling? How much are you looking forward to this new season?
Yeah, I feel excellent. Body's feeling good, and I'm very much looking forward to this season. It's like you said, injury-wise last year, and I'm just taking a day at a time. One foot in front of the other. Can't get too ahead of myself. Can't be looking a few days, few weeks in advance, and really just staying in the moment each and every day, taking care of my body as best as I can. Not even just physically, but mentally as well. That's what separates the best of us when we get to this level, especially the next level. Like, everyone's physically gifted, physically talented, and that's really what separates you, and that's what I've been doing my best with, is keeping myself healthy mentally and physically.
We spoke with PJ a little bit earlier in the show about Corey Heatherman. It's a new defense, new look. How does it look like for you in playing in this defense? What should the fans expect from this defense this year?
It's awesome. You can expect to be flying around, having a great time, being excited, swarming to the ball, having a good time, being violent out there. It's just awesome to have Coach Heatherman in the building, in our room, especially he's our linebacker coach as well. So, Coach Roger's our linebacker coach, DC as well. So
sure.
Same thing coming in with Coach Heatherman, and it's nice to have different change. Just a little different on schematics, whether it's philosophy, how to defend this, how to defend that, and it's just different coaching points, different viewpoints upon something that really allows you to grow and learn in different ways. Because not one way is the right way. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a way for us to continue to learn each and every day, and he does a tremendous job with us, making sure that we feel comfortable asking questions in that environment. It's very cliche. No question's a dumb question, and he really truly stands by that. And it just helps to allow even a guy like me that knows a very good amount about defense and schematic wise, but I still have questions. I don't know everything, and it just makes me feel comfortable to be able to sit there and ask questions and not feel like I should know these type of things.
Sure. Dragan, when I say reigning Big Ten kicker of the year, what comes to mind?
My teammates. It wasn't possible without Mark Crawford getting the holds down, Brady Weeks snapping, the protection up front. Being a kicker, it's often overlooked, but I love being part of the team. Cody's one of my best friends on the team, like a kicker and a linebacker duo. Who would have thought? But it's an awesome feeling, and hopefully we can repeat it this year.
And you have a special assignment here at Big Ten Media Days.
I do.
The Gophers. Can you tell the fans what you're doing here this weekend?
So I'm Gopher Media sports. I'm behind the scenes, you know.
Isn't that something?
So when you guys see the behind the scenes videos of what Cody, Max, and Darius are doing while we're here, that's all me. That's all me.
That's all on the Gopher Instagram page.
Yeah, Gopher Instagram, Gopher, all that. Any socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I don't know. Everywhere.
Now, do you have more of a future in front of the camera or behind the camera now? Or is it going to be kicking the whole time?
Well, kicking.
Yeah, okay.
But once football is going to come to an end at some
Sure,
point.
at some point.
We can all agree on that. But I know Pat McAfee, if you're listening, man, let me get an internship. Let me do something. Like we're in the home of that Pat McAfee bill, not Peyton Manning. That Pat McAfee bill. Yeah.
Pat, if you're watching this, I'm sure he's going to be very appreciative of that.
Yeah.
Guys, when you're looking forward to this season, we've got about a minute left here. I just want to know, what are you looking forward to the most about this season and trying to bounce back from last season?
Yeah, I think just taking it a day at a time. You know, being 1-0 in each day, each week that it might present itself, and then, like I said earlier, not taking it too far ahead, not looking too far ahead, because that's when you lose the moment. You know, you got to stay present. You got to stay within each moment. That allows you to be the best you can each and every single day. So.
Just enjoying it. You know, it's my last one, my last season. You know, Cody still got 3 years of eligibility, but this is my last one. So just having fun with the boys, because again, like I said, football's going to come to an end. We're not promised to go to the next level, so just enjoying this last one, having a good time, rowing the boat one last time.
Guys, we certainly appreciate you taking the time. Continued health and success the rest of the way. We look
Thank you
forward
very
to
much.
seeing you.
Thank you so much.
Season. And that's it for us here from Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis. When we see you next, we'll see you from the State Fair for another edition of the PJ Fleck Show. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time.